Hard to say. YouTube does a very bad job at deciding when we're live.
Are we live?
Yes. Yes, we are.
Friends, family, Nontendies.
Nontendies,
yeah.
I
We
love
gave
that.
him a name a while ago, and I forgot about it until this week. Nontendies, welcome in to a very heavy and somber episode as we say farewell.
What? What's a farewell
You're
to what?
fired again.
I'm fired. What did I do now?
Get out of my house.
What happened this time?
No, I'm just being goofy. Welcome in, everybody. We actually have a really fun episode. I'm really excited for today, which is rare for me. I feel like recently on the Nontendo podcast, we've been having fun, but had nothing to talk about. This week, I actually have a lot of things I'm really excited and ready to talk about.
I know, we're saved. It's crazy.
We're saved. Hallelujah.
I'm excited too. Even I have things to talk about.
Really?
The little
Can't wait to
topics
hear
of
'em.
discussions and little activities and stuff like that,
Yeah, we got some banger topics today. So, summarize what we're going to get to today. Nintendo Switch 2 is looking like it's going to have a ton of exclusive ports and games right at launch. And there's an analyst that went over that. I will say just one little note before we get into it. Yeah, obviously. I mean, like, the Switch was so successful, and there were obviously going to be so many game companies and developers that are going to be looking at the Switch 2 and going to want to get in the ground floor, going to want to have a game on that console. Because now, I'm getting into it.
Yeah, we don't want to get in the nitty
I'm
gritty
getting
yet.
into it.
We'll do agenda housekeeping first, and then
Yeah. It's just obvious, but also it's cool to have an actual analysis, break it down, and talk about some behind the scenes stuff. On top of that, we have a new Zelda trailer, which I haven't watched, which people are going to think I'm a lying liar. Honestly,
I think you're a lying liar. I watched it.
I promise I haven't seen it. I promise on my family. I promise on my life. May God strike me down where I sit. Imagine I have a heart attack.
Can you imagine? I was kind of waiting
You
for it
looked
for a
up
second.
like something was going to happen. No, I
did.
haven't, because I'll tell you why. I wanted to react to it in a video on my channel, but I've been dealing with a lot, and I didn't have time, so I just kept waiting, and eventually I was like, I'll just do it on the podcast.
So we're gonna watch the whole 5-minute shebang
Why
here
not?
right now.
Why not?
Well, not now, but soon.
Why not? This is a video-only podcast after all.
So that's what people like to complain about.
I mean, people watching it or listening at home would have already seen it and be able to audio cue tell where we're at.
Right.
I hope. We have a ton of other stuff too, some fun goofs and gaffs, some that aren't so fun, like GameXplain shutting down, and I have thoughts on that because it ties directly into the conversation I was having a few weeks ago. It's actually kind of, I don't want to say funny because that's not what I mean, but I was literally talking about how hard it is to be a Nintendo creator making Nintendo content right now, and here we have GameXplain, who made a name for themselves in the Nintendo scene early on, having to shut down due to just not getting the views. Which is, where I'm lucky is I'm a one-man crew. So I'm in the podcast, obviously. I'm talking about my main channel.
Yeah.
The podcast obviously is I mean, honestly, I'm feeling it on the podcast. We're scaling down
It
too.
is,
Like
it
Game
is,
Explains
it is.
having to let go of people. I haven't let go of anyone, but I've had to tell Max and E. It's like I have so many children. You know when you have so many kids, you get their names confused?
Yeah.
Max and E that
know
we
the
can only
feeling.
go to the studio every so often. Like I'm having a downscale when it comes to the larger operation that we have here. But as far as my channel, I'm a little safer because it's just me and my editor. But yeah, anyway, we'll get into that too. And then tons of other fun little bits and bobs that we can get into and talk to chat. But before any of that rhymed, we have a voicemail.
We do have a voicemail. I don't know if this person said in the voicemail who they are, but I'll go ahead and play it. It's 47 seconds.
Right.
Big shouts out to y'all for keeping it under a minute this time, like we suggested last time.
Locked. We listened to one on the bonus episode last week that was like a 5-minute special.
Oh, yeah, it was 3 minutes, and 3 minutes is the max on Google Voice.
Yeah, he got cut off.
Yeah.
It was very fun. It was very sweet. It was also very funny because he kept repeating himself.
It was good.
It is a voicemail, people, which you can bring the number up to if you want to leave a voicemail.
Yes.
You can leave a voicemail,
Here's
but
the
keep it
phone
under
number.
a minute. And remember, it's a voicemail, not a memoir.
Right. Leave us a message, 929-324-7311. That is Wood's real official phone number for his phone in his pocket. His voicemail will come up when you call him.
Nontendo Radio, Pennsylvania.
Hey, you know, I radio thing. That's my thing.
Sorry, I'll never do that again.
That's okay. You want to hear the message?
I do. I really do.
All right, here we go. Let's get it. Oh, whoops. There we go.
I'm here for it.
Is it going to play?
I'm ready to hear it.
It's not playing. Oh.
Did you not test this beforehand?
I did test it before.
Test it.
I did test it.
I heard you test it.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's.
You want to play the other one that's in Discord?
I'm playing it from Discord. I don't.
Wait, send it to me, and we'll do.
It's in the Nontendo team chat. It is. The 47-second one. Yeah, you could play it and it should work. We have to.
I can play it, but you would have to.
I'd have to go picture in picture,
and then all of this would get exposed.
Oh no!
Dead air. Wait, hold on. I don't know how to do this.
Oh, you know what?
Wait, I'll just download it. I'm an idiot.
You could download it.
I'll just download it like a
what? And then
a professional podcast.
And then you're gonna switch to you're just gonna show your desktop for it.
Yeah, we'll just show the Windows Media Player.
That's fine. I promise I did test this before we started.
You did. I saw you test it. Yeah. It's all right. These things happen. All
right.
It is what it is. Cut to me.
All right. Here you are.
Hey, Wood and Nontendo podcast.
Well, I can see that now. That's not
love you guys. You guys are amazing. Keep up the good work. And
we lost function.
We lost function.
All right, cut back to me.
All right.
You figure that out. I'll
try to work it out. Yeah.
In the meantime, we do want to. I want to remind you guys that we're doing eShop giveaways on every episode now. $20.
Hey, Wood and Nontendo podcast. First off, I want to say.
I believe they're
$20 to chat. We're gonna pick someone in chat that says like the chat of the day. If we clock something that's the chat of the day, you get $20. You have the whole episode to try and do it.
Oh, they said they can hear it in chat.
Oh, why can't we hear it? The speakers off?
I have them turned up.
What? That doesn't make any sense. Wait, let me try playing Can I try playing a video?
Yeah, like we just played the. See, I'm playing the Nontendo music and it's not playing on the speakers.
Whoa, what happened?
Wait, it fell down.
Oh, no, it didn't.
What happened?
This is a mess. I don't like this. Is such a bad way to start the episode.
I'm sorry. I tried.
Then wait, hit the Nontendo music again.
Yeah, there it is. It's not playing.
No, because you've got the volume for that all the way down.
Okay, I think I may have found the problem. I might have been doing the wrong slider. That could be my fault.
We'll try the voicemail again.
Hold on, yeah. Here we go. Hold on. I got you.
The voicemail wouldn't be tied to that slider, would it?
It would.
Hey, love you guys. You guys are amazing.
I don't think so. Because that's the sound
Wood
effect.
and Nontendo
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it would be this slider. It'd be the this guy, the USB. But I don't know.
Ham, you remember the other week where you had a stain on your shirt?
I did not have a stain on my shirt. It was a shadow, but yes.
And you were so paranoid about people thinking you were sweating profusely. Can you cut to my screen?
I can do that, yes.
You were actually just one step ahead of the curve. Because this is a fashion statement now. And I think they saw the episode and they were like, you know what? That's a vibe. Look at the pit sweat as well.
There's pit sweat on it too.
Sweat. And this is
God.
a Louis Gabriel Nucci. It's some like designer thing. This is a $110 t-shirt, and it's just a plain gray shirt that looks like they're just sweating a lot.
Right. I mean,
how do you feel about that?
I would never wear this. I couldn't do it. It's not for me. Like I'm already so paranoid about people thinking, because like when you're a heavier set individual like myself, like you worry about people judging you based off of you getting too sweaty or smelly or whatever. Everyone thinks that you're the person that farted when you're me in the room. So yeah, it's not for me.
I mean, it's down from 220. It's a good deal.
I don't see it, you know?
All right. Sorry about all that. Oh, last thing while you're on the picture-in-picture, my new desk mat is out.
It's very exciting.
If you want to see that, there's links on X and in my recent video, and it's right here in front of me right now. It's very beautiful, and it's a great mat, and I would highly appreciate if you wanted to check it out.
You also just said X instead of Twitter. I love that. It's iconic.
At some point, what are you going to do? It is still Twitter.
We did get a super chat if you want to read that.
Yeah, well, you can cut away.
I got you.
Quickly, I'm going to read this super chat, and then I'm going to get into it. Wood, can you give your thoughts on GameXplain basically shutting down? I mean, yeah, it's in the doc. The Good Vibe Gaming guys got out at the right time. Is YouTube really cracking down on Nintendo channels like Andrew was saying? Oh, what did he say? What did Andre? What did he say? I actually haven't heard what he said. Is there a tweet that I can look at that he said? That would be good, actually, if someone can send that to me.
You mean an X, right?
Yeah. All right, let's refocus here. I guess the voicemail is out, unless
it's not. They can hear it, right?
Well, it doesn't help me.
I know it doesn't help you. What's weird is that I can't hear it through OBS either. So
Have you? How could? Where are you playing the voicemail through?
It's playing through. I'm playing it on Discord on here. Yeah.
Huh.
But it worked before. You heard it before.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't hear the whole thing.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird.
All right. Sorry about that.
It's also your desktop audio is also for some reason just not coming through now. So
my desktop audio?
Yeah.
So if I played a video, you wouldn't hear it?
I think possibly you can try. It's up to you if you want to try.
I'm playing one right now. You can cut to me.
Yep, I got you. Because they can hear it, but again, we can't.
This is devastating.
It is.
Have you switched that back to chat somehow? Remember how it was main stereo and chat?
No. I restarted OBS and everything.
God damn it.
I can check real quick, but we'll go back to you. What's the first thing to discuss, and we'll come back to this.
I feel like if we don't figure it out, then every time we come back to it, we're gonna get stuck in a loop.
All right, give me 3 seconds.
You just hyper focus on that, I'll solo do.
I got you.
All right, everybody, we're going to continue on here. Sorry for all those issues. All right, so the first thing on the dock, considering we can't watch the Zelda trailer yet because we need audio for that, we're going to talk about this all these games. Sorry, I'm thrown off. All these games come into Switch. Actually, if you could just throw me to Pip, Pam, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
Why you look at all of that? So this came from Paul Gale. Who is Paul Gale? Who really is Paul Gale? Video game media sensei. He's a sensei, and totally not a weeb. University professor, video game themed pumpkin carver. So if you're gonna trust anyone's opinion, it's gonna be this absolutely jacked pumpkin carver. What is happening here? Indie Mania co-host. Okay. Author of Lizek's Great Adventure. Really makes you wonder who Lizek is. They posted... Oh, Austin John just texted me the tweet that I was asking for.
Oh.
That's actually so helpful, Austin.
Well,
Thank
there you go.
Austin, why are you here? Surely you have better things to do.
Small update. The microphone setting
I'm listening.
is set to stereo, but the desktop audio is set to chat. Do you think I should change that?
Yeah, do everything you can.
I will.
Throw the kitchen sink at it.
All right, I changed that. I just worry that you could try audio now if you want. Yeah, no different. I mean, they can hear it still, but we can. So
The fact that they hear it is the weirdest thing.
that it is the weirdest thing.
What audio peaks anywhere? The one on OBS must be jumping up when I hit play, right?
The PC audio is, yeah. According to them, they can hear it.
And that's the one that filters through to...
Well, it's not doing that now. It's not filtering through to the mic on this thing. So
we'll change that to... No, because it's on monitor for us. Oh my God, I don't know. God, this episode's chalked.
We're going to have to wing it. I mean, they can hear it. If you want, we can play it and then oh, they're saying they can't hear it now. Oh, man.
We need to get that working. Otherwise, I can't do a lot of what we have planned.
Yeah. I mean, I can... the problem is we could restart completely if you want, but that's up to you. I mean, you saw me test this just before we went live too, so I switched the desktop audio back to chat now. But yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm kind of stun locked on this because a lot of what we need to do today, we need audio for.
Yeah. Try one more.
Yeah, now I hear
now we
it.
got it.
Were you raising
I figured it out.
the
I got
wrong
it.
slider this whole time?
Hey, dog. I'm fired, right?
Why would you not try raising every slider?
I did. I think I just did it when you were not playing audio. So there you go. But we got it figured out. Hey, we did it, right?
Something is.
We did it.
This is good, but something is still wrong. Then, if they can hear it, because that means you don't have audio control over it.
I don't know. I mean, I do now for some reason. So who knows?
No, you don't, because they could still hear it even when it was turned off. So
Well,
you raising it and lowering it.
before they were. I don't know what happened. I don't know. We're working now. Everything's fine. We'll just go. We'll go 10 minutes over on the episode. It happens all the time. We got plenty to talk about today. It's gonna be fine.
Can we
okay?
Can we cut all of this out?
We can. Sure. That's a conversation for Max.
No, I can cut it out.
What's happening here? What's happening with Paul?
Paul Gale says a few major third-party developers whom at E3 2017 weren't anticipating new Nintendo Switch to take off the way it did and didn't have any AAA title at launch. The show itself. Sorry.
Grammar.
It's wrote bad. Not read bad.
Not your fault. Not your fault.
Are working on big launch window releases for Nintendo's next system. Nintendo Switch 2 will have some early significant ports, parallel releases, and exclusives. He said, I'm thrilled at the prospect of what's next. So that's what I was saying earlier, where I do feel like this is kind of obvious because the Switch was so wildly successful. And there was a period there, mid-Switch lifespan, where companies were jumping on like crazy. We were getting ports from all kind of places. We were seeing games like Overwatch come over to the console. Obviously, we got Doom really early on, which had a lot of success. Skyrim, they found a way to put Witcher on the console. And as time went on, we got more and more and more ports. But clearly now, the Switch is slowing down. You know, it's slowing down in sales. Nintendo's own sales report on the Switch is the lowest it's been. Views on all Switch stuff, as we've talked about, are as low as they've been. I actually was talking to Philip from Satisfy today, who made my Switch grip. And he said his sales are as low as they've been since he started working on the company, which makes a lot of sense. So, you know, a lot of these game developers aren't looking to port their games onto Switch now. They're not looking to make exclusives for the Switch now. And even if they'd had this thought several years in, they probably thought we kind of missed the boat. Because if you start designing a game for Switch, once you see it's a full success a few years in, you're still a few years out from launching that game. And we didn't know if the Switch was going to last 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. We didn't know how long Nintendo was going to invest in this thing. So I think for a lot of these developers and these third-party companies, they felt like they missed the boat and they were like, next time. And I do feel like that, I mean, it's kind of obvious, but it's nice to have somebody back it up and confirm, or at least, you know, if we're going to take, I don't know what qualifications they have here. But if we're going to take their word for it, to actually hear all these third-party companies realize, hey, maybe we made a mistake not backing the Switch, and for that Switch 2, we're going to make sure we have something at that launch window so that we can fully maximize the whole lifespan of that console.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like you put out your whole video on Switch ports, right?
Yeah.
And I just think that the possibilities seem to be endless. Also, did you see I sent a link about the ratio of physical copies to
I do want to bring that up.
Yeah, I think that's
we can talk about that after this.
About.
The things I'm excited for here more than anything, I mean, obviously there's 3 things here he touches on. Significant ports, parallel releases, and exclusives. So to break those down, significant ports obviously mean ports of other games coming to the console. An example of that is we've heard really strong rumors that Final Fantasy VII Remake has been up and running on whatever prototype Switch 2 is out there, this 4K Switch 2 that's out there apparently.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, we've had early reports that Final Fantasy Remake is there, and that's a significant port for sure. So more of those, like games that we would never dream of getting on the Switch portably because it just can't handle it. What companies and developers are looking at porting their games over to the Switch too? That's really exciting. Not the most exciting, but exciting. Parallel releases Obviously, that means more companies like what Ubisoft did with Starlink Battle for Atlas, where they release it on Xbox, PlayStation, day one. It's also on Switch. Also, really cool for that game. It had a whole Star Fox exclusive bundle thing, but that's beside that point. But that's what that is companies not waiting to put something on Switch. Not like Hogwarts Legacy that waited months after to develop the Switch port. Parallel releases, getting them same day on Switch as well as everywhere else. Or even if you have to wait, there are a lot of games that release on Xbox, PlayStation that don't come to Nintendo. Even if we have to wait, parallel releases eventually. So that's also exciting. And then finally, the one that excites me the most, the concept of more exclusives, more third-party companies that don't owe anything to Nintendo, that aren't owned by Nintendo, making exclusives for the console. Something that we didn't really get, I don't think, enough of on Switch. Because, you can help me out here, chat, and anyone else in the room, but one of the first ones, if not the first one, was Octopath Traveler. That was Square Enix, who owes nothing to Nintendo. Actually, I think there's a storied? What's the word I'm looking for?
Storied?
A storied past is good enough of Square Enix and Nintendo, not getting along, or, them having to go to PlayStation to make their games. So they owe nothing to Nintendo is what I'm saying. They're not owned by them like Game Freak is. They don't have a relationship with them like Platinum Games does. Just deciding to make an exclusive for the console because they saw it was doing well, and they made Octopath Traveler, which was incredible. It was one of Square Enix's best new IPs and best games in a long time, and it went on to make Octopath Traveler 2, Triangle Strategy, like a whole series, and it also kicked off this whole revelation of 2D, HD, 3D games, which we're getting now, and now we're getting Dragon Quest games made in that style. Beside the point, but also the point. Getting more games like that. I know Astral Chain was Platinum Games, so I think there was some deal there with Nintendo and them making it for Switch for that reason. But at the same time, I don't think they had to make that game. They just wanted to make that game, and they made it for Switch. But imagine if on the Switch 2, we get more companies really putting the work into making exclusives for Nintendo.
Yeah. I mean, it would be exciting. I'd like to see more of that, I just think that we've been kind of like conditioned to expect exclusives from other consoles at this point. So why not on the Switch too? You know what I mean?
Sorry, yes, I agree.
What are we looking at?
I asked Austin John, why are you watching? And he just wrote back, I got you, buddy. I'm just playing Dave the Diver. Which is a great game, by the way. So yeah, that's what we got out of the Nintendo Switch 2 big launch titles. I don't really know. I can't really speculate on what we can expect to see, but I have been speculating that from Nintendo we'll probably get a Mario Kart game at launch. A new Mario Kart is my guess.
I'm excited about that.
Maybe, depending on when Metroid Prime comes out, we might be able to get a dual release, and it would be cool to see it at launch too, but depends when that game comes out.
Yep.
And then, to have a big third-party exclusive would be good too, and it's not uncommon for Nintendo to do that. Usually it's with Ubisoft. With the Wii U, we had Zombie U. With the Wii, we had Red Steel. I don't think with the Switch we had anything. It was Bomberman R, Breath of the Wild, Street Fighter, a few other games. I don't think we really had any other exclusive for the console. So it would be cool to see a third-party company. Maybe that's not Ubisoft for a change, but honestly, even if it is, I mean, Ubisoft's done some really cool stuff. You got Mario and Rabbids on Switch. Battle for Atlas was pretty fun with the Star Fox stuff. So yeah. I'm definitely excited to see what this launch lineup looks like and to see how much support the Switch gets in its first year, because I was there. I was on the battlefield for that first year trying to make Switch content, and seeing the Switch blow up and be so successful and do numbers, and their games sell so well, and the people supporting it and making games for it doing crazy numbers, like SteamWorld Dig 2 selling more on Switch than Steam, Doom selling 80,000 units in its first week of launch, and just saying, hey, where is everybody else? Why is no one else supporting this? And Square Enix, who I remember was the first company that I was like, finally. So I'm excited to see in this first year if it just bangs so hard with parallel releases, exclusives, all these ports of games that came out on this last generation that couldn't make it to Switch. It could be a really wild first year to really make up for what this year has been, which has been very abysmal.
I feel that. I'm worried though. I'll tell you why.
Hit me.
I harken back to when the first iPhone was released, right? And Steve Jobs was up on the stage and he scrolled his phone one time and everyone oohs and ahs about how crazy this new thing is that we've, and I think that we were kind of doing the same thing when the Switch first came out, because we saw this new form factor of you got the Joy-Cons, you got the screen that's separate, but you can do it at home and you can do it on the go. And it was a new and interesting thing. And if the Switch 2 is like that, then people are just going to be like, all right, well, is it just a hardware upgrade, or is it like actually worth investing more time and money into like building shit out for this thing?
Yeah, call me a brown-nosing fraud, which is my new favorite catchphrase.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think people need a little bit more faith in Nintendo at this point, because I think they're very aware of all of those concerns, and I'm sure they're going to find a way to address them.
Well, I think that that's probably the reason why we've had to wait 8 years.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
they knew that like they can't just make the Samsung Galaxy S23 instead of the S22.
Ever since the GameCube, really, like that generation, even though they were still kind of competing graphically at the time, Nintendo has known that they can't compete with graphics.
For sure.
They can't compete with like just basic internal hardware, and they don't really have an interest in doing that.
Right.
They've gone on record before saying they don't really care about making Mario look super hyper realistic in 4K 60 frames. It's about the game itself and how much fun it is to play, which is in large part probably the sole reason why they are still so successful as a game company, both in hardware and software, because at their core they just make fun games that very rarely ever miss. Whereas other companies can get so hyper focused on making a game look so good, but at the end of the day, is it really fun to play? Like, I'm burning through First Descendant right now with my friends online on PC. Looks gorgeous, and I don't just mean all the boobies and the butts, which it has a lot of. Visually, it looks gorgeous. Gameplay-wise, it's so run-of-the-mill, and I honestly don't even know why I'm playing it, other than the boobies and the butts. But I'm out there and I'm playing it, and I'm like, man, if Nintendo made this, they would never. This is so boring.
He's a simple man, folks.
I'm a simple man. You give me a boobie and a butt, just one boobie, and I'll be happy.
Just a single
you give
one,
me two,
even from the side.
Hogs heaven.
I think it's worth saying though, just as a little bit of a response to that though, is that like especially considering you put out that port video recently, which my activity that I've got is based on, it kind of says that you really got to pat the back of the developers, right? The port developers that have put together these incredible visually appealing games that then work on this like old 8-year-old piece of hardware. And I don't think that like the Nintendo exclusive games carried the system, they didn't carry the console for the entire life of it. Like
I mean, to go back to what I was saying, they knew they couldn't compete with graphics, so they leaned more heavily into gimmicks and fun stuff, and it's worked for them. It worked with the Wii, didn't work with the Wii U, but with the Switch, where everything really came together, is they made a fun console that's gimmicky and there's fun ways to interact with it and play it. But at its core, it was just like an Android tablet that made it extremely easy to port games to. So these development companies, they still have to work magic but it's a different kind of magic. When a developer wanted to port a game to a Wii U, they had to work an insane amount of magic. They had to be the Dumbledore.
You gotta build a whole other UI for the screen in your hand.
The whole screen they had to work around. It was, and the Wii U itself, its internals were just notoriously really difficult to work with.
Right.
Like, I think it was the similar story with like PlayStation 3 or one of the PlayStations. I'm not really well versed with Sony like I am Nintendo, but it was also notoriously hard to develop for. The Switch, they brought it all together where they made it fun and gimmicky for people, but they also made it really easy to make games for. The only difficult hurdle these third-party companies had to leap was, how do we put our awesome, graphically beautiful game onto a tiny little Android phone tablet, which is a whole different thing to have to wrestle with. That's just optimizing a game and stripping things out and seeing if it even has enough juice in it to run it at more than 20 frames. So with the Switch 2, all the Switch 2 has to be is it needs to be fun. It needs to, as a concept, be kind of toy-like, which is what Nintendo is at their soul. They've always been a toy company. But it just needs to be the same Android concept, more powerful.
Right.
And you know, it could be as powerful as like the base Steam Deck,
Sure.
and it would be more than enough for it to get by.
I don't know if we're gonna get that much power.
I'm hoping that we get a little more.
Yeah.
Well, I'm well versed in Nintendo stuff, but with the Steam Deck, I assume what Steam Deck did is a similar thing to what Nintendo did when they made the Switch, and they just kind of put together a PC, a handheld PC.
Yep.
Nintendo with the Switch, they did work a little bit with Nvidia. I don't really know too much about that. But if with the Switch 2, they really worked with Nvidia and they had a special chip designed for their console, which does seem like that's a direction they might be taking. With the Switch in mind and what the goals they want to achieve in mind, and that same chip can do things like, I don't know, 4K upscaling, which we've talked about a ton of times before. But anyway, had a portable chip designed specifically for the Switch. You could do more with that than just trying to build a mini PC with a screen, which is what a lot of these companies like ROG Ally and everything do.
Yeah.
I might be talking out my ass a little bit on that one, on that last point that I made, but I don't think I'm too far off.
Sure.
I'm not really an internal hardware guy. I know very bare bones.
We could always call Bob if we need to.
I don't even know what I'd ask him.
That's true.
But yeah, anyway, that's all of that. It's very exciting.
Yep.
As far as a release date window, I actually had an article about that in here too, I think. This again is just more, you can cut to it, but it's more already known knowledge. I think someone just made a new report, but I think it's more like, here's everything we know about the Switch 2 kind of thing, because everyone's trying to get clicks on it, which, to be fair, me too, right now.
Are those the handheld Joy-Cons thing on the side there? Is that not just the Switch?
They're just the Hori pads, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Every time these companies, these websites, these articles make articles about the Switch 2, they always just take a weird-looking Switch, and they're... I guess I just hope people don't know what they're looking at.
And you guys are yelling at wood for clickbait. Come on,
this is just what you have to do. I don't know. This is just the thing. You know what I did when I did my Switch 2 video on my main channel? The one that I actually did?
I know what you did, but go on.
hired Fiverr artists to make new model renders. Because I was like, one, I want to see what my Switch looks like. Two, I don't want to use the same models everybody else is using. Which is what I did today for the podcast. But
have any other news article or news outlets used
I haven't
those?
seen anybody use it. And I published them on... I really wanted them to. Because I felt
That'd be so funny if they did. Yeah.
I feel like I know the ones I made. I hope the Switch doesn't look like any of them, but I feel like one of them looks better than all the other fake models that I've seen, including the one in the thumbnail for today.
Right.
That one looks horrible. Anyway, this essentially is just going over a lot of everything that we know about when the Switch 2 is going to come, and it's really no new information. It's literally President Furukawa. Sorry,
you got it.
Do I? It's the same tweet that he already... This is the same tweet. Sorry, same X that he already put out recently saying that the better half of 2024 was successor of the Switch will come before the end of the financial year, which essentially means if the Switch 2 were to follow suit... By the way, this is the end of the article, and you have to scroll down all this way to find it, and this is really the only thing this article is about. If the Switch 2 were to follow suit, the announcement would come sometime this fall before officially being released before the end of March 2025.
Right.
That's kind of the area we've been in and we've been thinking about this whole time. So just to put this as like a dot point on this conversation for anybody that has now got excited for Switch and they want to know, when do you think it's coming? Remember that tweet that he put out? Because I still think that tweet is him telling the truth, and the reason why I'm saying it this way is still I have so many people say to me, but do you really think it's going to come out that soon? Do you really think? Yes, because he tweeted and said that it will. Right. And this man barely ever tweets, and also barely ever tweets something this important. I don't think he's just going to... I don't think he was just on the toilet one day thinking to himself, you know what? I got to bang a tweet right now. I think this was very well thought out, well planned, and like in advance. It was known within the company that he was going to tweet that the Switch was going to be released by then. So, yeah, we will have it in our hands before March 2025, or at least at March 2025. And it is very likely that we will see what the Switch 2 is by the end of the year. If not in fall, sometime around winter, Christmassy,
Right.
like November area, which is that's probably still fall, right? When's winter hit?
It's haven't you experienced it a few times at this point?
I don't. I moved so much.
Winter starts. I mean, I guess officially it starts in like December. So
Okay.
yeah.
So we could hear if it's in fall, we could hear about it as late as November. I don't think they would reveal it in December. I honestly don't know if they even reveal it this year purely because they might want to squeeze the Switch sales one more holiday. But I think the Switch sales have slowed down so much they don't really. I think it makes more sense to forget about that, to move on, and just start hyping up the next thing. Right. And if it makes sense logistically to reveal it in like November, so there's like a 4-month wind up, because I think the Switch 1 had a 4-month wind up. We looked it up on one of the podcasts recently.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I love the Switch 1 commercial with the people playing the Switch on the rooftop, and everyone made memes about it because they were like, Karen, we're socializing now. You know, why are we playing video games?
Yeah.
But yeah. No, I'm excited. I am. If you want, we can do a little activity right now because it's sort of based off what we talked about.
You mean the
Switch
Zelda
ports.
activity?
No, Switch ports.
Oh.
Oh, the list thing.
I thought that was for Zelda games.
No, it's not. It's for it is. So we're gonna do. The plan is, we're gonna make a list 1 to 10, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a Switch port. All of these, by the way, I've written down every single Switch port that you've listed that you mentioned in your Switch ports video. And I'm gonna randomly pick 10 of them. I'm gonna give them to you one at a time. You're not gonna know what the next ones are. You have to list it as 1 through 10, and once you list it, it's locked in.
Okay.
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 Does that
All right,
make
I
sense?
get it. Yeah.
All right. So here's.
So is it wait? Is it my favorites or like the ones I think are the best?
So I'm gonna let you decide how you want to gauge them.
Okay.
Right? Like if you want to say like what you enjoyed the most is what you're gonna be at number 1, or if you want to say what you think was the best port,
I got it.
like visually or whatever, you put that at number 1.
And once I say where it goes, I can't change it later.
You cannot change it as soon as it comes up.
All right, I'm ready. I got it.
All right. Your first title. I'm gonna throw you an easy one because I know that you're not gonna like it. But technically, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a port.
I don't like that I can't change it later. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as a port. They ported it over. It was 1080 60 FPS.
It was nice.
They added in so many new things to make it its own game. It's a good barometer for good or bad ports. Yeah. So we're going to go 5. It's right in the middle.
Oh, I already had my mouse on 5.
Let's go.
MK8 Deluxe. There we go.
You should have put some bad ones on here because my list was all good ones.
Okay. All right. Your next title.
Yeah.
Let's do Dark Souls.
Dark Souls.
Yep.
I mean, that one was fine. That was a 360 game, so like it was kind of a given that it was going to be good. It was just good. It was okay. Honestly, I'd go 9.
9.
Yeah, it's a
that
360.
But that means it's bad though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's just it's a 360 game. It's a given that it was going to be good.
This is you could tell this is Wood's first time playing this game because you might regret that decision later to put it.
We'll see. I didn't put it 10 because I'm saving 10 for an actual bad one.
All right, let's do The Witcher 3.
10.
10? Really?
I hate it.
I need you to explain that.
I hate what's happening here. It's ugly. It's horrible. It's so bad. It's so muddy and murky. They tried to add in like slider options later after the fact to make it better, and it just made it so sharp. Like if you've only played Witcher 3 on Switch, you haven't played Witcher 3. You have not experienced Witcher 3 in its full glory.
Well, all right. Well, then your next title. Let's do. I'm between Doom or Doom Eternal. I'll let you decide which one you want to put on the list. Just pick one and put it somewhere.
They're the same thing.
Sure.
That was the first one that came to Switch, and like the first like really like big port that we got. They really set the bar for how good ports could be, and showed other companies and developers that they could put games on Switch and be successful. I talked about all this in my video.
Sure.
I'm gonna go 4.
4.
Yeah. Also, my monitor died, and I got to get a battery. We didn't plug it in
All right.
like
Well,
we usually do.
Okay.
Can you entertain people for a sec?
I could do my best. I put Doom on the list. I'm trying to decide what to give him next. I don't know if he can hear me right now. I'm between giving him one that I know that he's gonna love, or giving him one that I know that he's gonna hate. So we'll see what happens. I actually saw the screen do like a weird thing when it died. I'm pretty sure. Let me know when it's on, and I'll add the thing back. Hey, get a clap in the chat right now for all these technical difficulties. Oh, there we go. All right, should be on now, yeah.
It takes it.
Okay, all right, you got it, brother.
Yeah, it's on.
All right, so we got Doom on 4.
You gotta throw to it again though.
I will, yeah. 1 second, full screen.
Love these boys. Hey, Scooty.
All right.
Fired? Yeah, he is.
All right, do you see it now? You're good.
Yes.
All right, cool. Let's do. We're gonna go with Persona 5 Royal.
Okay. Okay. 720p.
Right.
30 FPS.
Yeah. But you don't need much better than that for Persona, do you?
Not for Persona. It's not a technical marvel by any means, but it's a highly requested port by me and a lot of people. It's got to be 3.
3.
It's got to be higher than the others.
All right.
God, this is not.
P5 Royal. You're gonna hate your list at the end, though.
I'm hating it already. No, it looks good.
Okay. All right. Next up, we're gonna go with. I'm gonna go. See, I'm trying to decide what's gonna be interesting here. Let's go with Hellblade.
That battery was dying. Hellblade. Oh. This sucks.
How do you pronounce Siunas? Is it? I've never played it.
Senwa.
Senwa's sacrifice.
Senwa's sacrifice. Sultry Senwa.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could move things around because I don't want to put it in 2.
That's the game.
But it's better than all those other ones. It's like a technical. It was a marvel.
Right.
So they did this really cool thing. Let me tell you about it.
I'm
where
listening.
The cutscenes in the game, they didn't use the in-game cutscenes that would have been on Switch because they would have been really ugly.
Sure.
So they made FMV videos out of the cutscenes from PC and like other consoles or whatever, the really high quality ones.
Yeah.
And they just played them as a video in the game, and then it bled seamlessly straight back into the gameplay, which also looked pretty nice. But it made the whole game feel way more polished in quality. Yeah. It's got to be 2.
Yeah, I watched the video on your channel.
I know, but these people might not have. Also, battery died again.
That's all right. All right. Well, we'll put that bad boy into 2 Hellblade. You got it, brother. Do you have a thing to, what do you call it, to charge it with?
I brought 2 batteries over and I lost the one.
Where he's got a wall of batteries over there, and he just picked the one that happened to be dead, which is really great.
What do we normally plug into it to make it stay on?
I don't know. You tell me. It was a plug, like a little plug guy.
All
right. So right now we've got your top spot is still open. Hellblade at number 2, Persona 5 Royal at number 3, Doom at number 4, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at 5, 6, 7, 8 still open. Dark Souls at 9, The Witcher 3 at 10. It's on.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Let's see if this one's gonna die too.
All right, here we go.
Mickey Mouse operation over here today.
Can
All
you
right,
see
what's
it?
next?
You see it? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next, I'm gonna. I don't know if this is a gimme, but
Hit me.
because I know how you feel about it.
Hit me with the gimme.
Nier Automata.
This list sucks.
I love this. I love this
list
game.
sucks. It's not better than Hellblade. It's not. It's also a 360 game. I'm gonna put it at 8, actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 8, yeah. Because it's a really great port. No, 7.
Oh, okay.
Because, and here's the thing. It's better on Switch. It runs better, has better resolution on Switch than it has on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4 even, I'm pretty sure, if I remember my research correctly.
Right.
It actually had a better resolution on Switch than PlayStation 4.
Mm-hmm.
Not 3. I don't think it was even on 3.
I mean, for how much you ranted and raved about that game during your video, I genuinely thought you were going to put that at 1.
The game's incredible. I love it.
Sure.
Have you seen her dress?
I don't make my judgments of games based off
the
of
game.
the
The game's
booba
it's
they're
one of
in.
my favorite games of all time, just based on the gameplay.
Sure.
And the story.
Yeah.
Mostly the gameplay.
But I guess the question is, did you?
Dress.
I guess the question is, did you enjoy playing it on Switch as much as you did elsewhere?
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was gonna put it right next to Dark Souls for the same reason that like it's just a port that you would expect to be good, but
Yeah.
the fact that it had better resolution on Switch than some of the other consoles bumps it up one more.
Right. All right. Let's throw another wrench in there. How about Dragon Quest 11? I don't think Wood likes this game. You got 1, 6, or 8, brother.
1, 6, or 8. I can't.
Give us your feelings about it to begin with.
My feelings are. I already gave them.
I mean about the game. You know, like.
So the game. All right, the Switch port was great. Because it came to Switch after it was on other consoles, but they made it a definitive edition, and they called it Dragon Quest 11S.
S.
And it had a ton of new story, actually, and cutscenes and stuff for the characters to flesh them out a little bit. Some of the complaints that they had about how some of the character development went, they tweaked it and added stuff. They also added a whole, like, 16-bit mode, which plays through the whole story, but is also its own little campaign. It's all optional if you want. They added options for orchestral music. They added so much. If it had lived and died on Switch, it would be a #1 contender for me right now, because it also like was just technically a great port. But a year later, they ended up putting it everywhere else too. The S definitive version went back to PlayStation and Xbox, which I'm just gonna use that as my out to remove some brownie points, and I'm gonna put it 6.
Okay. All right. I'll put DQ. DQ. What? XI. S. There you go.
I wish it could be above Doom so bad. I wish we could switch Doom and DQ right now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what?
Yeah. Okay. Or you can't.
What if I threw Red Dead Redemption into the mix?
8.
8.
Yeah.
Definitive
easy.
8.
Yep. 8.
Okay.
You know why? It's another 360 game. Is it fantastic that it's in full 1080p? Yes. Is it technically better than Nier Automata in that way? Yes, but I can't change it because this game sucks. But is it better than something like PlayStation 4's smash cult hit Senua's Sacrifice Hellblade? No.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, I've got your whole list here, so I just get to decide what you're putting as #1, right? That's kind of how it works, isn't it?
You kind of are, I guess. In a way.
I'll throw you a bone, and you tell me if you at least would put this in your top 3.
What if you gave me one Switch option? Like you give me this game, and I'm allowed to put it anywhere else, but it bumps that one up to #1.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
that way you're not picking the winner.
Right. Okay. Ori Will of the Wisps.
Well, I'm so glad we did that.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we made that stipulation.
Okay.
Ori is sick because it's better on Switch than Xbox One S.
Sure.
And it's a Xbox game.
Yep.
Which does give it a lot of brownie points.
Yep.
But as far as where it sits, I didn't realize how knowledgeable I was about these Switch ports after making my video.
You worked really hard on that video.
Dude, I researched it so hard for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when I make love.
So where are you putting it, dog?
So I'm putting it So what did I say? Where I put it bumps the other one up.
You can if you could swap another one right now for #1. You have to put the other thing in #1 and Ori in that spot. Or you could just put Ori in #1 if you want. It's entirely up to you, dog.
I'm just gonna bump if I can bump Hellblade up and put Ori 2.
Okay. All right. Well, Ori.
Yeah.
Ori in 2.
Yeah.
And then
Is that the game though? I feel like the reason why I want to switch them is because you're picking out of a random list of 20 that if you had a set list of 10,
Yep.
that would be the game. but you didn't come into this with a set list. You were picking random from 20.
Well, I thought personally, peeling back the curtain a little bit here, I thought it'd be more interesting based on what you were putting down. Because I saw your video and I know your opinions about these games.
I feel that.
I thought it'd be interesting to just pick and choose.
Well, if you had a set 10, I would have let the dice lay where they are.
Okay.
But I think a grace of one switch is fair if you're just picking the number one.
Sure.
Sure?
Okay. So how do we feel about this list in the end right now?
It's honestly not too bad. I'm not too annoyed by it. Witcher 3's in the perfect spot. I think Mario Kart could probably go above. Mario Kart could probably be 2.
Really?
I mean, yeah, above Doom and
So you're
PlayStation.
definitely not basing this off of how much you enjoy the games.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm going by technical.
Yeah.
If I was doing it by how much I enjoy them, Doom would probably be 9.
Sure.
Because well, again, that's the technical element, but I just don't want to play Doom on Switch at 30 FPS.
Right.
If I'm playing Doom, I want it like 240 FPS.
True.
On like my PC with the sound blaring. God, I want to do that so bad right now, actually. I love the music in that game.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It's not too bad. I feel pretty good about it.
Okay. All right.
Blech.
Well, congrats. Good job. We made it.
Hey, let's do Nintendo YouTubers next.
Okay. Cool. Let's do it. You're one of those.
I am. You know where I'd put me?
No. Let's do 10 Nintendo YouTubers, but you can't switch the list. Same thing. I'm joking. I don't even know 10 Nintendo YouTubers. I only know
10
beatemups.
Scott the Was 1.
Sure.
AVGN 2 because he did so much for us.
Does Small Ant count? Where are you putting Small Ant?
Small Ant, I've never watched him.
That's crazy. But you've called him on this podcast before.
Small Ant? You mean Ant Dude?
I mixed up.
There's
I'm gonna take the L.
There's 2 Ant-Man in this community.
I mixed up my ants.
They all look the same.
They all look the same. They can lift 100 times their body weight.
Yeah, they can all do that.
Yeah.
All right, fun. Thank you for that, Ham.
You're welcome.
God. All right, let's look. Wait, chat. I'll let chat decide. Chat, do you want to live react right now with me the Zelda trailer, or do you want to talk about GameXplain in that whole situation? I'll run a poll actually.
Exciting stuff.
I'm
keeping an eye out in chat for my favorite chatters. By the way, my favorite chatter at the end of this podcast does get a $20 Nintendo shop eShop.
Do you have any front runners right now?
Well, definitely not the guy that I banned because he said that the fat dude needs to get fired. So
fired?
Yeah.
What the hell, man?
It's the slider. I messed up the slider. It happens. I'm sorry. So it is what it is. It's fixed now. It seems that people are saying live react to Zelda, but I'm not sure.
I throw it in. Yeah. It does seem like Zelda is already just the chat's vocal favorite.
Sure.
Yeah, Zelda's winning. All right. Let's do this. I have not seen this trailer yet. I'm very excited to see it for the first time.
Let me know when you're ready.
It is a 6-minute long trailer. It's called, I'm ready, Zelda Echoes of Wisdom Traversing Hyrule trailer, the Nintendo Switch.
Right. Can you hear it okay?
I can
turn
hear
my
it.
mic off.
To Hyrule, a vast land where Princess Zelda will journey through her grand adventure.
So the only thing I've seen in this whole thing, by the way, there's a horse, because there's a picture of it.
Right.
And to be brutally honest, I started watching it and I got maybe about here, and I think he says something about visit one of the many towns, and I was like, you know what? I want to react to this live.
Sure.
So that's all I know.
Also, chat can hear, right?
Chat, can you hear?
Yeah.
One in chat if you can hear.
Yeah. Just keep playing
Is
it
a
though. It should be
land
fine.
of plentiful abundance. From the central plateau, where Hyrule Castle stands enfolded by its castle town, to the outermost reaches, you'll encounter new and interesting people in each of its diverse regions.
That's all I heard. And then I was like, you know what? I want to be live for this. I want to go back already, but I'm going to let it play. I wanted to look more at the town.
The Gerudo Desert consists of scorching dunes as far as the eye can see and is prone to frequent...
Can I say that I believe them, but this is a horrible shot to show for...
Yeah,
Scorching dunes.
3 cacti.
As far as the eye can see, it's a top-down shot of some yellow sand and 3 cacti.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's great, but this shot is not doing it justice.
I feel that.
As the eye can see and is prone to frequent sandstorms. That's
Oh, that was actually really cute. The animation of Zelda being overheated. Also, what's this little guy she's with now?
That's a great. I think I'm not sure if they say it later or not.
She's giving Rosalina now.
She's giving Rosalina.
Yeah, that's the name of that Mario character, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean,
prone to frequent sandstorms. That's no problem for the women of the Gerudo tribe, though. There are many ruins full of mysteries here.
All right, so we see the summoning a what are they called? Orc, goblin. They have a name in this universe. I always forget.
yeah. I've turned. I want to let the chat know. By the way, the sound on the video is not super high right now, just because like we have mics in here. But I'm turning it up a little bit for you guys right now. I'm trying
A
to.
great place to relax.
Oh, you can just. I wonder if sleeping heals you at all.
Jabul Waters is home to some of Hyrule's most scenic waterways.
That's pretty.
It's also where you can find the Sea Zora and the River Zora,
Okay.
who each reside in their respective villages.
Now, one thing I'll say is I was excited to watch this, and I am excited to watch this. I kind of hope this is really the only look at the game that we get, though, because I don't want too much ruined.
Right.
I also feel like this isn't going to be like a Tears of the Kingdom massive 100-hour adventure. Don't show me too much, please.
Sure. I'll say, I mean, because I watched it. They give you. I think they give you just the right amount.
Okay.
So that's me though.
Though they
I love that little like walking up with this like 2 potions, looks like health and mana. It's very old school, very Link Between Worlds.
Right.
don't always get along. What could they be fighting about? Daunting cliffs and lava flows dominate the
Oh, does that mean you can like climb?
I'm not sure. Also, I had a question I wanted to ask you specifically. Has there always been a distinction between ocean and river Zora?
No, I don't know anything about that.
That's interesting. So they've got like a.
Well, I could be wrong. I'm not. I enjoy a lot of things about Zelda and video games and movies, but I've never really been like a lore guy where I dive into the races of the video games and I know the names and anything. So I could be wrong. The ones I'm more familiar with are these ones on the right. These look more like the Zoras that I recognize from Ocarina of Time, from Breath of the Wild. These ones on the left, they look somewhat familiar. They're probably more like the 2D type Zora, I would imagine. But yeah, I don't remember anything about. Chat, let us know. Sea Zora versus River Zora.
Yeah.
I did not know there was a distinction, but they look very different.
They look like the Galgamech from South Park. I don't know if you know what that is. Just carry on. It's fine.
Fighting about.
I do not.
Daunting cliffs and lava flows dominate the Eldin volcano region. Kakariko village is nestled at the mountain's base.
I always say Kakariko. People always make fun of me for that. Keep an eye on chat, too. Let me know what they say about the Sea Zora.
Nintendo just said Kakariko, so.
I know.
But you'll have to brave treacherous.
Do you think that's because there's always cocks in it? The roosters, the chickens, they're always in Kakariko Village.
You think so?
Maybe that's why.
I never even considered that. Yeah, that's crazy.
To reach the home of the Gorons. Those rocks may look delicious. Alas, they are not for Hylians.
Oh, rock roast. That's from Tears of the Kingdom. I don't remember that from any other game.
Are a lush labyrinth of vegetation.
Again, this could be me just like missing out on lore. Maybe they ate rock roast in Ocarina of Time, but the first time I recognized rock roast was in Tears of the Kingdom.
As you wander the jungle, you might come across a Deku scrub. Rumor has it, these peculiar creatures have a voracious sweet tooth.
Oh my god, they have so much personality. I always get so scared to react to things for the first time that people are going to be like, are you even a fan? I do not remember these Korok kids having mohawks and like little like cute like girl buns.
I think, yeah, there's probably more where that came from, I imagine.
During your travels, you're likely to encounter people dealing with problems great and small.
Oh my god, they have main and side quests, and they have the same UI as Tears of the Kingdom. Like with the little yellow orb and the way it pops up, the same font with the line and everything. It's Tears of the Kingdom.
Are we happy about that, or is that lazy?
It's interesting.
Sure.
It's just I don't know. It's just interesting. It's just very. There's a lot of this game I've already been drawing parallels to Tears of the Kingdom, just in the way that it's like very open and you can go about the game the way you want. And that mentality Nintendo has now to exploring a Zelda game your way, and they're taking that into a 2D adventure for the first time.
Right. It does seem pretty non-linear. So.
But now seeing like the UI and even that like talk option right here is the same talk button from Breath of the Wild. It's weird. It is like a like a mesh of the two styles of Zelda coming together.
Yeah, I thought it was from Genshin Impact, but okay.
Might be.
Keep track of quests by browsing
Oh my god, that is Tears of the Kingdom's
Yeah, I was gonna say.
and Breath of the Wild's menu. Whoa, this is trippy. I like it.
adventure log whenever you'd like.
It's like a mini Tears of the
Helping
Kingdom.
people with their troubles is a big part of your journey.
Also, just like going into the Gerudo Valley. I know it's in every game, but it feels like a mini 2D Tears of the Kingdom.
And wise heroes are often rewarded for their good deeds.
Also, I know it's not 2D, but this is like the 2D Zelda. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's one plane.
Objects known as waypoints are scattered throughout the land. Once
Oh,
you've
that's what this
discovered
little
one,
guy is.
You can return to it quickly
Whoa,
by selecting
tell
it
me
on your
that
map.
is not just the weird little anthill from Pikmin 4. I don't know if you played the Pikmin 4.
I never played Pikmin 4. No.
There's like these night battles you can do where you I don't really remember how it worked, but they had like these little sandcastles that they were drawn to.
Sure.
It looks exactly like that.
Yeah.
Once you've discovered one, you can return to it quickly by selecting it on your map. Even with the benefit of fast travel, getting around Hyrule can prove challenging.
I feel like a broken record, but also waypoints, fast traveling.
Yeah.
It's
I wouldn't exactly call it a feature.
At times like
it. What?
I said I wouldn't exactly call it a noteworthy feature.
I think they're noting it because previously in these kind of Zelda games, you couldn't do that. You had to manually get your ass there. You had to just walk back around the world.
Right, but not in like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, though, right?
No, that's what I mean. That's even more like, oh, they've added in more things from those games into a 2D
Sure,
Zelda.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Which I think is also in part probably a solution to not a problem they've created, but the new way of being able to explore wherever you want. Because in a traditional Zelda game, if you're going the way you're supposed to be going and the way the game's probably pointing you to go, you shouldn't really have to do much backtracking that isn't planned.
Right.
But in this game, if you can go anywhere and do anything from the start, you might find yourself going all the way up to Narnia, getting stuck, deciding, maybe I want to try going down the other way.
Sure.
And if you can't, fast travel players might get bored or not be bothered.
Right.
So I think it's a solution to the openness that they've added.
these, why walk when you can ride? Gallop right over weaker enemies to send them flying, and hop over small obstacles with ease.
I love this because I don't think they've mentioned how big the map is for this game yet, but if they're adding a horse, it's probably, again, to help getting around, which tells me it could be quite a large map, which is interesting. They did say, like, even though they only showed us 3 cacti, they said the desert, went on for miles or whatever the terminology they said was. So, yeah, it could be a pretty big game.
Well, I mean, if they're going to have fast travel points, then, there's got to be a reason for that, right? So...
Once you learn to make a carrot echo, you'll be able to call upon your trusty steed from anywhere in the overworld.
That is so cute and so cumbersome that every time I want to summon my horse, I have to summon a carrot
You have to make
first.
a carrot, yeah.
That is really annoying.
You can't
but
just
also
whistle,
Very cute.
you
Yeah. I like it, though. It's silly. It's an extra step, but it is cute. Also, that's a different horse, my guy. So you can get different horses. So maybe you can catch horses just like you can in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole different horse right there.
Maybe you can just customize your horse. I don't know.
As you explore,
Maybe.
you may come across smoothie shops manned by business scrubs.
That's cute.
Here you can blend the ingredients you've collected into delicious drinks. Smoothies have different effects based on the ingredients you choose. They're sure to come in handy during your travels.
So that's kind of like
So,
a cutesy potion making.
It's just cooking. It's just cooking.
It's kind of cooking, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
kind of,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, let her cook.
Let her cook.
You can also equip outfits.
If she wants to.
If she only
If she chooses
only
to.
if she wants. It's okay if she wants to
If
do
she-
that with her life.
yes,
That's totally
She can
fine.
do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
Link can cook too.
Link can cook too. It's you know
Really, he
there's
should.
no it does no defining who does what role in this society.
Not in my house.
Not in this house.
And accessories to enhance your abilities. And to look fashionable, obviously.
Cute. Oh, actually, very cute. I was actually worried that she would spend the whole game in a robe where you couldn't see her face. And I was like, oh, we finally get a Zelda game and she's in a robe? No, I like that.
Obviously.
Obviously. Obviously. Idiot. Dumb me. Idiot. Loser.
So this is
Whether
interesting.
you're trekking over rugged plateaus, through winding caves, or other complex locales, creating echoes is key to
I
success.
like that. That's fun.
But sometimes they may not be enough. A huge boulder like this cannot be learned as an echo, and your other echoes won't move it either. For obstacles like
I know it's silly that they're showing you like what doesn't work, but I kind of love that. Makes me excited because I want to have that experience where I'm summoning all these things and I'm trying to make something work and like nothing's really working, and then you finally summon something that like
Yeah.
does something.
And it's like the big like aha moment.
Yeah.
Like holy
It's
crap.
like, oh
that's how you do
yeah.
that.
And then it's like you tell your friends or whatever, you know, in the schoolyard, oh yeah, I realized if I summoned the bum man, he blows up the rock. And he's like, you did the bum man? I just boomeranged around to the side. And
In
everyone
the schoolyard. I love that.
everyone
too.
has different ways that they did it.
Yeah. I like how before the stream, like the first thing you said, like right before we went live, you're like, you ever think about how old we are?
Yeah. We
Yeah.
are so
Yeah,
old.
we're not in the schoolyard anymore.
I know, but that's what I used to love about playing games growing up.
Fair enough.
It was like when all your friends are stuck on a bit and then like one of you figures
Yeah.
it out and you come to school with it the next day.
Wait, did you guys in Australia, did you not have school buses?
No, we still had school and video games in Australia.
No, I mean, did you not have school buses? I'm asking about buses.
No, we didn't have school buses.
Because buses were where video games got played a lot too.
So
when I was growing up.
Kim was always weirded out by this, but when I wanted to go to school, I just had to get on a regular ass bus with adults.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there was no such thing as a school bus for
Yeah,
me.
you don't. Buses are dangerous in America. You don't put kids on buses
I don't think
alone.
they're much better anywhere else, to be honest. It's
I
just
guess I don't know.
we just didn't have school buses for
Yeah.
whatever reason. I don't know.
these, Try has got you covered with the power of Bind.
Oh,
Use it to make even a massive boulder.
well, never mind. I'll just use bind.
Yeah. Also, Austin in chat.
What's he saying? I can't see chat right now.
He said, hold on. He said, gotta love 2.5D Zelda Ultra Hand. What?
Oh, he means this. This
Yeah.
is Ultra. Oh, you
Yeah.
know what? He's right. Yeah, this is another Tears of the Kingdom thing. This is Ultra Hand, and it's even green.
Yeah.
Good catch.
For sure.
You know what, Austin? You should make a YouTube channel about like facts and finding like little like similarities and things and like explaining lore on video games.
Yeah. Because you don't like to learn lore on your own. Is that it?
No, that's his whole thing.
Sure.
Follow Zelda's movement. Bind can help you unearth buried
Oh my
treasure.
god, it is literally okay. Yep. It is literally Ultra Hand.
Is that disappointing to you?
No, it's so funny to me. It's so interesting that this is literally 2D, 3D, HD Tears of the Kingdom.
Right.
I'm excited. I'm honestly excited. It's almost like this could have been DLC for Tears of the Kingdom, like a weird little, you know, it had kind of like how they added a 16-bit mode to Dragon Quest.
Sure.
They could have just added like a 2D mode to Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah,
and I
but
would've-
then this is Zelda though.
it's
you know?
better.
And
This is better. I'm just making a goof. I mean, it's just a goof and a gap.
Right, and Nintendo gets an extra $60. So
Yes, I know.
Or even reposition
Could be
troublesome
70.
enemies.
yeah, I was gonna say 70.
You can also use Bind on your echoes.
Now, okay, one thing I'll say about this, and I'm sure they've thought about it, but before I was excited at the concept of finding all these cool, wacky ways to interact with the environment. How would I beat what do I have to beat the rock? What do I have to beat this character? If I can just bind them and throw them off an edge, I'm going to do that. That's going to be way more convenient for me.
Hey, keep watching, brother.
So get creative and find ways to forge ahead.
Yeah, I'm just going to do that.
Alternatively, if you want to follow a moving object yourself, you can use reverse bond to go where it goes.
That's so interesting.
Take advantage of a creature's ability to fly or to move around quickly.
This is
Swapping
really
between
interesting,
bind
actually.
And reverse bond is a great way to find clever paths forward.
Okay, this is like a whole new game now. This is a whole new thing. Now you don't even need to clone anything anymore. Before they were like, you can clone beds and you can make a staircase out of beds and climb this ramp. Why would you do that when you just have a magic spell that binds you to things that climb?
Yeah, but sometimes you have to make the echo of the thing that climbs, which I'm pretty sure is what they just did,
yeah,
right?
That's true.
So yeah.
You know what? You're right. Okay.
Multiple game mechanics
I like
come
it.
together.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's very similar to what's in Tears of the Kingdom, but it is another one of those things where it's like, how does Nintendo think of this? How does Nintendo think, like, cloning things I can get, you know? They think, oh, what if Zelda can clone things around the world? But then somebody had to say, what if she could clone it and then bind herself to it, and then whatever action it's doing, Zelda will reciprocate? Like, somebody had to have that thought.
Sure, but
It's just so wacky. I don't know.
Somebody had to have the thought of how Portal works, you know, like the video game. Like, there's so many games out there that
Portal I could come up with as a kid.
Do you think so, though? Like,
Shoot two things and you like
yeah, but
one goes to the other.
But dog, it's not just as simple as that. It's also like, oh, you got these light bridges, and you got the, you know, like the corkscrew stuff, and you know what I mean, and the paint. So many different things that like
Portal's pretty fun.
Games like these games
Gladys,
that have.
though?
Sure. What do you mean? What are you trying to say?
Just funny character.
Okay, yeah.
Would you?
I just cut away from myself. I just can't. Oh.
Bond is a great way to find clever paths forward. Let your imagination run wild, and you're bound to come up with all sorts of ideas.
That's cool.
Use bind in combination.
For audio listeners, the spider just climbed over a tree.
They in real life, they tend to be able to do that sort of thing. Yeah.
There you go. Don't say I don't do nothing for you.
With your echoes to overcome obstacles. Understanding how these two abilities work together will be essential to your progress.
Oh my god, that one's so funny. You just dropped him down the mole hole.
That's what you said before. Just drop him like off a cliff or something.
Yeah, but at least that one's a little bit more creative.
Right.
Mysterious rifts are overtaking Hyrule. What else will Zelda have to contend with in her grand adventure to save her kingdom?
I don't know. I haven't played it yet.
There's only one way to find out.
What's that?
The Legend of Zelda.
Oh, well, yeah, that's what I was
Echoes
saying. I
of
haven't played it yet.
Wisdom. Available September 26th only on the Nintendo Switch system. Pre-order.
Okay. That I did not expect to see that Ultra Hand ability.
Right.
Because I thought the whole thing was just summoning things.
Yeah. It's more than just that for sure. What I will say, the thing that kind of irks me about it, it's not even that big of a deal. It's really just like a personal thing. It's just like, how many times is Hyrule in trouble? You know, like some calamity has come to Hyrule and is taking over.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I guess what else are you gonna do? I know, but
Do you go play a Zelda game where everything's happy, right as rain?
No, I'm just saying, like, maybe we go somewhere else and do something.
Like a
I don't know.
picnic? Like
Sure.
Link and Zelda's big picnic adventure?
You could have a picnic in this one. You can summon a carrot and probably other foods. Or maybe
true.
a blanket, you know? And then a bed to sleep on when you're done and you're tired.
My takeaway from this is I'm actually pretty shocked how similar it is to Tears of the Kingdom. I hate to keep saying it, but I love it. I love that that's a thing. It's a weird mesh between the two games coming together, the two styles of games.
Right.
I see a lot of inspiration from other games. I don't think they gave too much. I was actually, the reason why I stopped watching is because I didn't want to see all of the towns. I was like, oh, I don't want to meet the people yet. That's my favorite thing about these games is making it to a new town and exploring the NPCs and everything. They didn't really show any of that. I don't know if that means that there isn't that much going on in that regard, or they're just keeping that secret. Either way, I'm glad.
Yeah, I don't think they gave away too much. I think that this was like a
yeah. No, I don't think so either. And then the one thing is just wacky. That threw me through a loop. I was not expecting her to have that whole extra ability.
I didn't expect to see. Maybe this is just me being naive or not knowing fully about the game. Maybe this was shown already, but did we already know that there were going to be elements of like 2D platforming in this as well? Like, not obviously it's a 2D platformer kind of, but it's like on a plane, right? But I'm talking about like
these
this.
parts.
Yeah, sort of.
This
There's
is
like
this
right here,
is-
the swimming part too. Like,
Yeah. Well, these parts are classic 2D style Zelda games. So if they weren't here, I honestly think we'd miss them. These parts, to me, these are probably more like in caves, in dungeons, in the puzzle elements. And then they just hyper focused on these like more outside exploration elements to show you what's new.
right.
But I think there's going to be a lot of the going into dungeons and solving puzzles, which is kind of great because that's really what the new Zeldas were lacking for a lot of people.
Yep.
All right, cool. Wow, glad I saw that with my eyeballs. Honestly, if I wasn't a creator, a Nintendo creator, I wouldn't even watch it. I would just wait because I wouldn't want anything ruined.
Right.
But I'm more than happy to take a look at it with you guys and give my thoughts on it. I'm actually interested, since Austin, if you're still in chat, if you caught anything or you had anything you want to share with us that I missed.
Yeah, maybe some takeaways.
And when I say that, something like big and interesting and not like, you know, the little bird at the 2-minute 13-second mark is actually its first reoccurrence in a Zelda game since 1995 kind of thing. Like, I don't really care about that.
How you're explaining this right now to somebody who's never watched Austin John before, like you're definitely painting me a picture of what the content is like. And that's kind of sick. I love that, actually. Like going like deep diving into the lore.
His content's awesome.
Yeah.
But it's not I don't have the brain space. I can't if I learn about the bird that's in the game for the first time since 1998, that's pushing something else out of my head that I need to keep.
Right.
You know?
Only so much capacity in the noggin there.
I didn't really do an analysis or anything. I'm here. Oh, okay. Well, how do you think I did then? Can you rate my... Austin John, can I call you?
We didn't set up the thing. I mean, you could just do it in the
Where
mic.
is the little dongle thing we bought? It's not set up at all, is it?
I asked you, before we started the stream, I was like, hey, I need X, Y, and Z.
I can call you on the phone and just put you in here if you want to rate my analysis.
That'll be the best way to do it, yeah.
He's usually always down, but I'm not going to do it unless he...
Yeah.
Have you played Sid Meier's Civilization? I'm going to call you. I don't know what's happening.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Get him on the phone.
Ham and I actually bought a thing to be able to do this properly.
And we didn't set it up today because we were doing the whole 1,000,001 things to like get things ready, and it just didn't happen. But this is fine too.
Austin, we're over 30 minutes too, so this has to be a quick call. Just so you know, I have to talk about GameXplain.
We're at an hour 17 right now. I don't know where you're seeing that. Oh,
He's calling me. Okay,
all right.
Hello.
Yo.
Hey, how are you? Why is your name on here so fancy? You've got like big bold font.
Yeah, I mean, you get to set up your contact poster. Did you not do that on your own phone?
Nope.
Okay, well, that's why.
Can you hold it up to the mic?
Anyways, so do you ever play the game Sid Meier's Civilization?
One time with a friend at work, and he never made his move, so it just kind of ended.
Okay, because they're already on the 6th one, and the 7th one is coming out soon. And people praise this series for every single game feels familiar and different. And one of the devs spoke about this. And historically, what they do is the game as it exists, like between 5 to 6, they keep a third of the game completely untouched, exactly 1-to-1 over. They take a third of the elements and improve upon them. And they take a third of the elements and replace them with something else. And I feel like this is kind of following that same theory. Like coming from Link's Awakening, going into this, you're having that fresh yet familiar feel with a brand new protagonist.
Yeah. No, I agree. How do you feel about all of the Tears of the Kingdom type elements working its way in, even down to the UI?
I mean, big fan of it because everyone loves these games. They're the best-selling Zelda games of all time, and seeing that influence brought into... It's crazy that they took the Game Boy game that was then ported to the Game Boy Advance, that was then ported to the Nintendo Switch, then had the newest Zelda game elements implemented into it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just personally upset that they're using this time slot, the throwaway time slot, as we all know, to throw this game out instead of it being,
I can see that.
a graphical masterpiece on the follow-up system.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. It would have been really cool to see what they could have done with this game, even on the first year of the new Switch. You're right. I didn't think about that, actually. That's actually a little disappointing. Do you think they'll do anything like an upscale for it, or like some like Switch 2 version that maybe looks better?
I think the Switch follow-up console is going to have anything that can improve a game. I feel like the Switch, the follow-up system is going to have that implementation baked into it. And
I think that too.
Then it's on a developer if they want to, provide higher resolution textures and stuff.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. So as an analysis of trailers and video games, how do you think my on-the-fly analysis was of this trailer just now in my episode?
Something I didn't even think about is how cumbersome it would be to have to go inside of your menu and choose the carrot for the horse, which is making me hope that there's a better system for what you want to summon an echo of. Remember how horrible it was to attach things to an arrow in Tears of the Kingdom?
Yes, it was very difficult. Cumbersome is the word. I think it would depend on how often you lose the horse, right? Like, how often do you need to summon it? Because if it's with you most of the time anyway, or you don't need it all the time, it's not a big deal. But if you're constantly having to get around and take out a damn carrot every time, I would get sick of that.
Like, if you go into a dungeon or a town or a house or something, and then you come out, is the horse still there?
Yeah, exactly. They probably won't because it's Nintendo, but I wonder if you could map any hotkeys. Like, you have, like on the D-pad or something, you have 4 slots you can just press and it automatically summons something. That wouldn't be too bad.
Pokemon's been doing that since Sun and Moon, so hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. All right, buddy.
On the UI, I didn't really see that the D-pad was doing anything else.
No, that's why I'm hopeful that maybe they do something. I just feel like they don't. They never do. Nothing's ever intuitive with Nintendo. It's always as difficult as it can be.
No, it's honorable.
It's what, sorry?
Honorable.
What the hell are you saying? Did you sneeze?
Honorable.
Honorable.
He's doing the accent.
Yeah. Are you doing a racist accent?
No, I'm quoting the... God, this is such an old thing. I don't even know where it's from.
Oh, boy.
All right, we'll Google it. Hey, man, thank you so much for calling. We'll take in my call.
Hope you enjoy the new podcast element. Happy you don't not have to do the very long commutes to New York anymore.
Yeah, we do it once every month right now. We'll see what happens next year, but yeah, for right now.
Better than once a week.
Better than once a week. You're not wrong.
All right, cheers, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
What's the Japanese
Austin
word
John,
for
everybody?
What's the Japanese word for honorable?
I don't know. We'd have to look it up.
Because maybe it's just maybe that's just the word. Maybe that's because that's common for that to happen, right?
Yeah, I didn't know what was happening. I legitimately didn't know what he was saying.
Like, it's not racist for me to say McDonald's.
No.
Right? Because that's how they say McDonald's.
It's more that we were talking about a Japanese developed video game, and he was yeah. All right. All right, last thing on the list that we have to talk about is actually we had so many fun things on the that we never really got to.
Yeah, there's the YouTubers, we talked about what was it? We talked about the Switch ports thing for a while, so
God, yeah, we really did. There's actually a lot here. Actually, let me burn through just maybe 1 or 2 of these quick things.
Sure.
And then we'll talk about GameXplain. There's 3 things that we have left other than GameXplain, so I'll just try and hit them real quick if you want to cut to me. Pip, sorry.
Yeah.
Rare Nintendo Dolphin GameCube prototype reemerges on social media. So this is actually from the people at Console Variation, yeah. Let me see if I can open this tweet here. So I don't know if this is like a never seen before GameCube or what. This is the only picture we have right now. But let me read it. We have detailed pictures of one of the first physical GameCubes ever made. For those that don't know, GameCube initially was codenamed Dolphin. This GameCube is so rare that we're not allowed to upload it on the internet. I don't know what that means. Not allowed by who? Is Nintendo going to strike them? Is that what they mean?
I don't know,
but they said until now. Like, what's the until now?
Maybe it was like a patent, like running out or something like that. I don't know.
Console Variations is actually a website that I've used a few times. I used it for my buying every Switch video to see what was actually like a rare Switch and like what was actually out there. The only gripe I have with them with the Switch stuff is they always rank the highest, most rarest Switches as like Hello Kitty did a giveaway for a Switch once.
Yeah,
and
they
they gave away one Switch, but it's like it's either painted or like vinyl stickers.
Sure.
And they're like, this is one of the rarest Switches you can get. And people tag me all the time in these really rare Switches. I'm like, it's just painted.
Yeah.
Like if Nintendo officially, and that was my video, I was like, I'm buying the ones that Nintendo officially released.
Right.
Not one that someone else bought from Nintendo and then painted. But anyway, that's a side tangent. That's all I really know about Console Variations. But clearly they've managed to get a Nintendo Dolphin, which I'm not sure if this can lead to anything interesting other than how it looks. I'm not sure if there's something they can get out of the hardware. I don't know.
Is there a third button on it? Looks like 3 buttons.
Yeah, I don't know if it's not a button like the other two, but it's something.
Interesting.
Also, the lid in general looks more domed. Like it looks a bit different, a bit off. But the dev units of consoles usually do look a bit off.
Right.
Someone said this is the only other photo of it online. I don't know where this came from.
Well, something like that got to be worth, though. That's crazy. It's an iconic console.
Something like this is worth whatever somebody wants to pay.
Exactly.
There's not like the price will be set if they sell it and somebody pays for it.
Sure.
All right. Well, that was that.
Well, there you go.
I just wanted to show you. Next, Max sent this in the chat, and I actually hadn't heard about this. So GameCube is releasing an exclusive Game Boy.
GameStop.
Sorry, yeah. What did I say?
You said GameCube.
Sorry.
GameCube.
So many game words. GameStop is releasing an exclusive Game Boy called the Mod Retro Chromatic.
Right.
I'd never heard of it, and so I instantly pre-ordered it because I was like, that's a video. And then I messaged Bob, and I was like, have you heard of this? And he was like, yes. Apparently it's made... Let me see what he said, actually.
I just, like, when I saw it, I mean, obviously it has the added benefit of that it can play real games, right? And it's supposed to...
It can play real games, yeah. It plays the actual cartridges.
Yeah, so you don't have to spend $500 on a metal analog pocket right now.
There might be an implication that they're making their own games.
Yeah.
But he sent me a link to an article about it, and this article wasn't very nice, but essentially to summarize it was saying that it's created by a guy named Palmer Luckey, who was the disgraced founder of Oculus. Now, Palmer Luckey is creating a exclusive Game Boy for GameStop and is a passionate Trump supporter.
Oh, okay.
And that's the summary of the article.
Interesting.
So I pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
Not sure if I still want it, if I'm being 100 with you guys.
I just think that the people who saw this that are excited about it are the people who've never heard of the million Anbernic handhelds that keep coming out, like 5 a year or something like that.
Cut away from me for a second. I want to Google this person.
I got you, brother. I got you, man. No, I just think that like because I love my Anbernic RG35XX. It's sick. Love it. And also I got the SP now, but it's not working. So I don't know. But yeah. What are we looking at over there?
I'm looking at his wiki. I'm just trying to find out why he was like disgraced. Like, what did he do that?
I don't know.
Shortly after the acquisition, filed a lawsuit. The lawsuit contended that Lucky and Oculus used ZeniMax's trade secrets, copyright, computer code, and technical know-how relating to virtual reality technology, and sought financial damages or breach of contract, copyright infringement, and unfair competition. ZeniMax. So, what is ZeniMax? Did he? I guess what this is saying essentially is that he stole or used trade secrets and other computing code and something for another company.
Sounds like a lot of legal stuff, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Firing and political controversy.
Oh, interesting.
In September 2006, I'm going to read it, 16, it was reported that Lucky had donated $10,000 to Nimble America, a pro-Donald Trump group that ran a billboard depicting 2016 presidential candidate Hillary Clinton with the caption, "Too big to jail." That's what that says.
Oh, man.
All right. Yep. Anyway, let's get off that conversation. I don't like getting political. The last thing is Ham actually sent this to me, and this is the last thing before Game Explain. You can cut to me for this. For those interested, this is what the digital download ratio of games on Nintendo Switch looks like when you exclude download-only games and other DLC subscription revenue. In other words, of all the net revenue generated from games that have both a packaged retail and digital download version, approximately 37.7% of that revenue is generated via the digital download version.
This was so surprising to me. Like, genuinely very surprising.
So to say this another way, to make sure I've got it right, counting only Nintendo games that get physical releases against Nintendo games, against their counterparts on the digital eShop storefront, 40% of those sales, essentially rounding up, are coming from the digital.
Yeah, so like 2/3 of all games that have the option of retail or digital, 2/3 of all games are physical copies sold.
Yeah. So why do you find this interesting?
Because I thought that it would be a lot less. I thought that it would be maybe the other way around. Yeah.
I'm actually pretty surprised the digital is so high. Because Nintendo is such a tangible, physical company. And I feel like a large support that comes to Nintendo is kids.
Yeah.
It's moms and dads buying games for their kids.
Yeah, but kids, kids now got their mom's credit card on their little machines.
Yeah,
so
but when Timmy wants a video game for Christmas, old Mima is going to want to actually buy them something physical.
Accidentally faded to you, but yeah, no, I guess so. I guess that makes sense. But at the same time, though, right?
Also, we're a large key demographic of the Switch, and how do you buy games?
I buy everything on the. I don't have the wall behind you right now. You think I got space for that in my New York City apartment?
Can you cut to my wall, please?
Sorry, I have to click.
I'm the 60%.
It's all you. Like most of that is just
40% is everybody else. The 60% is me.
Right.
Doing what I can over here.
Yeah. Well, so the article that I saw, I don't know if it was an article or something that this tweet was in, was basically saying that like this gives a lot of hope for physical releases.
Oh yeah.
For Nintendo, for Switch 2.
I mean, there's not even a question that Nintendo are doing physical releases for Switch 2. I mean, we all knew that.
Yeah.
Nintendo is. I said this already in this episode, they're a toy company. They're very physical. They're very tangible. They know the nostalgia and the draw in having something physical to hold on to. It's why they started releasing amiibos, like little toys to go alongside their games and their characters. Like they know people want to own, collect, and physically hold something when it comes to Nintendo.
Yeah.
So yeah, Switch 2, and I would even assume the thing after that will stay physical.
Yeah.
When it comes to PlayStation and Xbox, I think we'll be lucky if we get another Xbox.
Right.
But if the next Xbox has physical, I think we'll be lucky. And I think PlayStation will definitely do physical for another run. But I would think PlayStation 7, we might be looking at no more physical.
You said PlayStation 7?
Yeah.
Jesus, the idea of going up to 7.
I know, right?
It's wild.
How old will we be? If 6 is going to come out in like 3 years, let's say, 2-3 years.
I think a decade from now, maybe we can safely assume that we'll have PS7.
So I'll be 39
Is that right?
because I'm 29 now.
Is that right?
Scoot just turned 29 2 days ago.
I believe that.
What, we don't believe the other thing? I'm getting gray in my beard now. I'll be 44. Be
Yeah.
44.
I'll be 42.
That's not too
I'll be
bad.
42. Yeah.
How many PlayStations will we be alive for?
I don't know, man.
What one will we see?
At a certain point, how are we going to start saying how many PlayStations old we are?
I already am.
Yeah,
I'm 6.
I'm yeah.
five
right now,
PlayStations
I'm
old.
5 PlayStations old too.
Hold on a second. Let me do the math here. Everybody calm down.
Yeah, 5 and change actually.
So if
right?
they come out, let's say what's a PlayStation lifespan roughly? 6 years?
5, 6, yeah,
5, 6
something
years?
like that.
Let's say 5.
Sure.
So that's easier math. So every 5 years, and let's say being about to release one throws me off.
Yeah.
But let's say 7 comes out, like I said, when I'm 44.
Mm-hmm.
So then 9 will come out when I'm 55.
Right.
So 11 will come out when I'm 65. 13 will
crazy.
come out when I'm 75.
So we think you're gonna live through maybe 13 PlayStations, maybe
Well,
14.
we said 5 years. So let's assume that it's a little bit more than that, and
Yeah.
just say that I'll probably see PlayStation 11, PlayStation 12
Okay.
before
Well,
I
you
die.
said on a previous podcast that you thought you were going to live to maybe 60, 65.
You're right.
And then
So
I
probably
contested that, saying that I thought I was going to live longer, pointing out the fact that I'm significantly less healthy than you are,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
So-
maybe.
But I also, that involves
Who knows what's going
mental
on
health
inside
too,
our bodies,
delusion.
you know?
So,
I
anyways,
could be a day away from
yeah,
dropping, you know?
right,
When we get to PlayStation 10,
sure.
I'm going to buy you one.
Oh yeah,
Launch day, baby.
yo, clip it, chat. Clip it. I'm
making
excited
you
for my PS10.
I'm making you the promise now.
So you're saying I have to live to PS10?
You
is
have
what
to.
that's
We
your
both
challenge.
have to live to PS10.
Well, your challenge. It sounds like really. I'm the one in question here, right? Like I'm
The
we
one
have
in question.
Yeah, I have to. You're saying if you live to PS10, I'll buy you one.
Yeah, I'm giving you a challenge.
All right, let's go. I'll take that all day. Why not?
All right, last thing, everybody. Last thing. And courtesy of Austin John actually sent me this tweet that we can pull up here. It's a twit longer from Andre Seegers. Sorry, I'm bad at pronouncing things.
That's fine.
The original owner, I believe, of GameXplain. I think. I really don't know. I've never really been too invested personally in GameXplain. I appreciate them as a channel, and obviously I don't want to see any channel go under because I'm a channel. You
Right.
know, I'm not going
Yeah.
to pray for anyone else's downfall because I literally will be next.
Sure.
I feel like I'm already on the way. As
disagree.
I said, to talk about it now rather than just at the start and then go into it now. As far as like a YouTube channel that's Nintendo-ish focused with a crew, I'm already downscaling this year from what I had last year. You know, we used to go to Brooklyn every week. We used to have 4 or 5 people in the studio. Now we're in my basement and it's me and Ham because it's more affordable, because the views aren't there, because things are down with Nintendo. So I feel and I appreciate what GameXplain is most likely going through right now. But this is what happened to GameXplain, and this is their announcement. I'm saddened to say that due to softening revenue, it's become impossible to continue to sufficiently provide for my full-time team members. I tried everything imaginable to avoid this for as long as possible, including foregoing any payment for myself for more than 2 years and reinvesting. I did it for like 2 months, and
That's crazy.
And I was out. So 2 years is
Yeah.
crazy. And reinvesting 100% of the revenue back into the company, but sadly these efforts weren't enough. I couldn't be more proud of what my team has accomplished in the time I was fortunate enough to have them. They have created so many incredible video features that I believe are going to be the best to be found on gaming YouTube. I miss having my team here, but I know Joey and Triss have a promising future as they are both extremely talented all-star creators and would make an amazing addition to any team. And I know they will continue to kick a ton of ass at whatever it is they do next.
Right.
Didn't really go into too much about why, I guess, he's having to make this decision other than the obvious, I suppose. I mean, we can go to minimize for me. I don't like.
I got you, brother.
We can go to their channel and take a look and see what's happening over there. But so GameXplain was a YouTube channel, is a YouTube channel that started in 2009, I believe. They were very early, like legacy gaming YouTube channel. You can cut back.
Old boys.
On the platform. I actually watched Sean's video, which I have up here right now today, and he dived into how early on they had a working relationship with Nintendo. So back when Nintendo wasn't allowing people to make content about Nintendo content, for some reason GameXplain was allowed to. And that's really where the key to their success early on happened. But then as the years have gone on, and obviously I feel like at some point things did shift towards a solo like a YouTube channel with just a person talking.
Right.
Seemed to be more influential and get more views and more engagement than teams of people, where like every other video was a different person, or like a bunch of people were working on the project. I think it just felt a little less personal to people. I think it's why G4 TV failed mostly when it came back.
Right.
And I think throughout the years, as Nintendo softened on their restrictions, and obviously people like myself were allowed to make videos about Nintendo content and gain traction, the views on GameXplain type content and these larger conglomerations of people, it must have just lessened. I mean, that's really the only thing that I can gather from this. They were clearly still doing a daily upload schedule. Looks like their topics and their views were all over the place. I haven't really looked at this channel before. I will say, looking at it now, they probably needed a little bit more thumbnail consistency because it's a little all over the place. I guess it's a lot of yellow and blues.
Right.
I don't want to critique them. I'm
sure.
I'm just a little confused at what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I think for me, the way I see it is that, like, especially in the content creation space, like, it's always boggled my mind when a YouTube channel has like LTT, like, boggles my mind, right? Linus, yeah, because they've got a whole team. They've got like 100 employees or something like that, and they're banking on the fact that their channel is never gonna die. You know. Yeah. And I think that the space is a little too volatile for me to ever like want to have so much overhead like that.
A team of people.
You know, it seems like a lot, you know, so I think that it's just one of those things, you know, at the end of the day.
Well, we can cut away. This goes back into the conversation I was actually trying to legitimately have, and we did have a couple episodes ago.
Sure.
The one about the problem with Nintendo YouTubers. And you know, it's a weird thing because, like, on one hand, I get it from an audience perspective, and I wanted to make sure that it didn't come across like I was complaining, because I'm really not. I'm so thankful of everything that I've been given, everything that was possible, being able to tie my brand so closely to Nintendo and ride that wave for so long. If their wave is down right now, and that means mine is too, I got like 7 years out of it. If it never gets back up, I got like 7 years out of it. Like, I had a lot of fun. I made a lot of memories. I made a lot of friends, and I did what I did, you know? So I'm never going to complain about that. That's just the career. That's just what I like. I dived into. But I know, like, watching us talk about it must be weird, you know? Like, it's hard for us. Like, the concept of us saying it's hard for us Nintendo YouTubers right now is a weird concept, I think, for people to hear, because it's like, we'll just do something else or like get another job or anything like that. But it's just, this has been our job for like 6 or 7 years, and for a lot of you've enjoyed us doing this job, and you've benefited from us doing this job, and we've had fun doing this job. And now this year has been pretty abysmal because the views are down. People that are in these bigger channels like GameXplain that have a lot of people that are working on it, I mean, it's not making money, and they're trying to pay employees, so they're gonna close down, and that's the only benefit I have on my main channel of it being just me, because at this point where I'm at with my main channel, we really are just making videos and paying my editor, and then I'm using the rest to pay my bills. It's not like how it was before. You know, there was a moment there where I bought every game in GameStop.
I remember that.
That was right at the tail end there of like of videos being able to afford that. And now I can't. Then that's shifted quick, because that was only a year and a half ago or something.
Sure.
I can't put that money into a video now. You know, I gotta take everything I can out of a video and pay bills with it.
What was your total for Temu?
like $500, $600.
Okay, that's not terrible.
That's about like the most I want to spend on a video. I actually ended up buying an actual 3D printer last night. It was $800.
Really?
And
we're at an hour 43, by the way.
and I wasn't going to do it, but I liked the little crappy one I got so much. And then I was like, what if I made a video printing my own Switch accessories?
Oh,
that's a sick video. At least then I was like, okay. But even that was like should I even be doing this right now? Like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But tying it into a video, Scoot's calling me.
Oh.
Hey, buddy, I'm on the podcast again.
Oh, I know. I'm watching you.
Okay, what's up?
And I want to call you and say, you're going to be back. We're going to get to the fucking top. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. I don't know if you swear on the podcast. I'm sorry.
Have you met
we will
half of any of my crew?
I'll be doing it all the time.
we will get back. We're going to get to the top. Nontendo forever. Nontendo #1. What? Like a collective we. Like, I'm a viewer. We're a part of it.
A viewer that moved to LA.
So like as a viewer, you're saying that you are going to watch me get back to #1.
Yeah, and if you need me to help, I'll help. It's like a collective we. Like I'm chat's voice right now. Like, I'm watching in chat and like I'm supporting chat. You know, like chat. Like, we're gonna tell 5 friends to download the Nontendo podcast, and it's gonna get the top.
Yeah, it'll be a pyramid scheme podcast.
Thanks so much, buddy. Hey, if everyone listening could tell 5 friends, I would actually appreciate it.
Yeah.
No, but like, look, I like what you're doing with the podcast. It's new, it's different. It'll get there. It'll cook.
Does it cook, King?
I really like it. I really like what Ham's doing. I really like watching you. I've enjoyed my entire day watching this. I've been playing Death Sprint 66 while I've been watching. It's fun.
Thank you, King. I also think this is a fantastic, underrated podcast, in my opinion, in my humble opinion.
It will get there. I believe it will get there.
It'll get there.
Right now, it's not going as fast as we want, but we're gonna put a little oil on the gas.
Can we put maybe like a little lube on it?
Wow.
Okay, we gotta get out. All right. Thanks for calling. Thanks for calling, buddy. We've been here for 2 hours. I love you too.
Nintendo #1.
Nintendo #1.
Let's
All my
go.
Nintendies rise up.
All right. My little Nintenders, let's go.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, goodbye.
Said Nintendies, but
It is what it is. It's Scoot.
yeah, we are running pretty late here.
Yeah.
We got to do a bonus episode
We
too.
do.
The only other thing I was going to show is Sean did make a video and he said some nice things about me. The comments hated me.
Yeah.
They
Well, you know
always
what?
do,
It's a good opportunity to, given the situation with Nintendo YouTubers struggling right now, maybe consider subscribing to the Patreon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel bad always harping on about anything. I really should mention it every episode.
Yeah.
But the Patreon is what keeps this show going. 1,001,100%.
Let's drop my water bottle.
Just dropping everything over there. If it wasn't for the Patreon, this podcast would have ended months ago. And the week to week of me actually figuring this out and setting this up and investing the time and doing any of that is only made valuable by Patreon. I honestly cannot stress that enough. And it's not just something that you can come over and throw a few bucks to and get nothing out of it. We do a weekly bonus episode immediately after the main episode. We do a whole nother episode exclusively for Patreons. The only way to get it is to join Patreon. If you join Patreon right now, you can see all 110 of them, as well as the one that we're about to do right now. We also push those out to audio platforms, so if you'd rather listen to the audio of the bonus episodes, you can do that too. Thank you to all of the Patreons.
Big shouts out.
I want to do more rewards for the Patreons too.
Yeah.
There's like behind the scenes that you get. Your name in the credits. You get a discount on merch. There are some things that happen.
For sure.
But I want to do more.
Yeah. Speaking of rewards, chatter of the day, Elon_profile.
Let's go.
Reach out to us.
What did they say?
They've been generally positive and
I want like a
and saying
chat
a lot
of the
stuff
day.
in
I
the
want
chat.
like a thing they said, like some poignant thing, like Wood's hair look nice.
I've been
Ham looks sweet. You know,
we got the opposite sentiment going toward me for that today.
no, I don't believe it.
It's okay. Elon_profile. I'm sure you're in the chat right now. Shoot us a DM on Twitter and let us know. Shoot us a little screenshot of your profile on YouTube, and we can get you that $20 eShop gift card.
If you're listening to the audio or you're watching the video, wherever you are, make sure to rate it 5 stars. Leave some kind of comment down below. Hit like on the video. Share it with 5 friends. I'm going to start adding that into the end. Please help this podcast grow and give it the support that you can. You don't have to listen every week, but if you can get someone else to, I'd appreciate it.
Be nice.
And we'll see you with the Patreons for a bonus, and I'll see everybody else next week for another episode.
So long, everybody.
Week is
oh, you're doing the
we're back in the studio next week.
Yeah.
And we'll have a guest with us, actually.
Okay, I didn't know if you wanted to say, but yeah.
We'll have a fun guest with us next week.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye, everybody.